Right. Well, good afternoon. Well, afternoon. It's not nighttime. Well, good afternoon, free enterprise fans, and welcome to another race here in the Fabul Gauntlet. This afternoon, we have nightdew going up against CapnBWhite, and joining me in the booth this afternoon is going to be PK4787.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. As you see, both of our runners are 1 and 2, and as I've said, this is a cake eating contest where the prize is more cake. And if either of these runners want more cake, they're going to have to win today because 3 and 2 is going to be the cutoff as far as making it into week 6 and further. So this is you win, you stay alive, you lose, you got a pride match coming up next week.
Yep, that's right. And well, it looks like they're going to be starting with just somewhat of a challenge because I can see that first character they're starting with, and that's going to be an Edward start.
You always like to see it from the commentary booth. I don't know how excited either of them are, but we'll get them off. We do have Poydrak on our restream, and Maggie the cat is tracking today. So thank you to both of them as well for helping us put everything on.
Yes, thank you to those two for help getting everything set up. And looks like the runner's going to be getting going here in just a second. Just to let everyone know, they are on a 15-minute delay. So they actually started racing about 14, 15 minutes ago, and we're just waiting for it to catch up to us.
Yep, so we'll see what decisions they make. Nightdew is a runner I'm more familiar with. He was, I believe we were discussing earlier, one of the top 8 finalists from the second highway to the Zenith zone. He's had some tough matches. CapnBWhite, I'm less familiar with, a newer runner, but with these 5 random objectives, the standard shops, all of that, it's really anyone's game.
That's right. And I think you may have mentioned earlier that when Nightdew actually made it to the top 8 in the second highway to the Zima zone, he actually won his way into that final round with a comeback win in the play-in round.
And Nightdew is very familiar with the comebacks. He had to win a 4-person race. He had to take first just to qualify, and then he ended up making it from the top 16 all the way into the top 8. So I don't think he will be super phased by being 1 and 2. But then again, you know that this is the end of the road, so you definitely want to give it everything you've got. But I'm sure that's what we can expect out of both of them anyway.
All right. Looks like our runners have started. And, oh, look at Edward. He's found his friend Yang here and getting some stuff from a wall there in the castle.
The magma key, which opens this seed up pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's going to start them.
Damage output early is going to be something interesting. Yang is a great character, but until he gets a few levels, he does not do all that much to help. And Eddie just really never does all that much to help. So let's see what else these runners get.
That's right. I'm wondering if we're going to see a quick magma key check just to check the shops of the underworld. Maybe they'll have some better items down there to get started with. But here come our objectives.
Okay. Launch the Falcon, Cave Magnus, defeat Odin, mount Ordeals, and Vanilla Crystal Sword.
Well, that means we're definitely seeing a hook seed here. So that's something the chat always.
So I know everybody in chat's happy to see it, but that is definitely required music there.
I think we're gonna have to call this the chat seed. And looks like Edward's gonna be our duplicate character behind Elements here in the Baron Inn. But thankfully, either of our runners has to go on a character hunt, so they'll be able to choose from whoever they want. So we may not even see them on the do the Baron Inn at all. And right now, they're just running through, collecting all the treasure chests here in Baron. I'm not scrolling through the items so fast. I'm not picking up if they're catching anything good. That looks like a silver staff.
So with a party like this, you're definitely hoping to find Poison Claw, maybe a Charm Claw. Thunder Claw for Yang is by far my personal favorite forgotten weapon in these seeds. And for Eddie, basically a Dancing Dagger, maybe a bow.
Yeah, I think I saw an archer bow come out of one of the chests, so that might help just a little bit. And looks like Nightdew's gonna go check the shops and missed.
Yep, I'm on the lookout definitely for claws. There's that thunder claw. That's one of my primary shopping items. And then you're also, or at least me personally, I'm checking early to see if I can pick up a curse ring for later on. There's a dancing dagger as well, so there's some damage.
Yeah, that's going to make Edward somewhat useful for those early boss fights in case maybe they're going to try to go Hobbs to see if there's maybe a decent character to start out with there.
And definite slight advantage. That was some important loot there.
Yep, CapnBWhite, he's going to go through Damsay now. Go ahead and get that that hovercraft unlocked, since they're going to actually need it at some point whenever they find the hook.
Yeah, so they have a magma key, which usually indicates that you don't have to bother with this hook route, but that Launch the Falcon means you have to go through, clear both of those bosses. So whether you want to or not, you're still going to have to go through Cave of Heblin and get that taken care of.
That's right. It also looks like there's a poison claw there in the basement of Damsay.
Yeah, so some good early items, the Thunder Claw, the Poison Claw. And it is gonna make these early fights a lot easier than they would have been without them.
All right, so they got their CapnBWhite's got his hovercraft unlocked, and let's see where he's going to head off to next. Actually, they're both going to have their hovercraft. I'm thinking they're probably going to go check Hobbs right now. Try to get that third character. Hope it's something just a little bit more powerful.
Yeah, I would typically make that check, although I wouldn't be 100% against just dipping into Antlion, just given the dancing dagger and Pyong with what he has is most likely going to be enough. But extra levels here is definitely going to make anything better.
Right, yeah, and checking Antlion, for all you know, Odin could be there. We have one boss we have to hunt today.
Yep, and as somebody who periodically skips that check, anytime I do, there's always value there. So it scares me now.
All right, and here we
character
have
number.
Oh, well, hey, there you go. That's value here.
Yes, as much as Yang is not a great early game character, he just got paired up with the exact opposite of that. Sid's utility is huge at the beginning, and then he falls by the wayside.
And you get the double bonus of getting one of your objectives out of the way right here really fast.
Oh, that is correct. There's Odin. So that's if I'm running this, I feel a lot better because there are 34 boss locations. I have to boss hunt now. You're just looking for the magma key, that harp, and the hook.
Yep, just need the hook, the darkness crystal, and the magma key, and you're going to be all set just to get ready, just complete your tasks.
And yep, they're neck and neck here.
Right now, just going to Antlion now to do the key item check.
Yeah. Relatively straightforward, but I would say I would be interested to see who takes that magma key first and drops it down the well. I'd expect to see that pretty soon. There's the free key item in the Fey March, and of shop checks on this as standard means there are a lot of items that may or may not be for sale down there that can get your party going real quick.
I'm pretty sure maybe they're looking for sirens in one of those shops as well. This way they can set up the easy grind. I mean, I know they do need to get the darkness crystal because they do have to go to the moon, but a siren grind may be just a little bit easier than a giant grind if they don't have to go to the giant, since we're not doing any characters or any more boss.
With no character hunt and no boss hunt remaining, you definitely would hope to find sirens because you're going to have to go down into the moon one way or the other. So you might want to take your grind there. You might want to take it on the eggs. But thus far, there's no one who can cast weak to begin with. So D Machine just starts looking less and less viable the further into this you get without finding a Tella or Fu.
It looks like we found a Valvalis here in the Antlion Cave. I don't know how this is going to play out without a King in the party at this or low a level.
It's going to be slower than almost any other boss fight here, but definitely the Sid and the Yang have at least enough output to pretty much ensure that they can get through this fight.
There's something you don't see: a dancing dagger being used as a weapon doing more damage than using it as an item.
Wow, Edward is actually contributing here at a much higher clip than I thought he was going to. Yeah, as was pointed out in chat, it looks like CapnBWhite decided to head over here, resetting out of that Odin fight. So maybe regretting not having that extra damage with Sid, because Val, if this fight drags on, Val will cast weak, she will punch, she will turn your characters into stone, so you do not want to let this go more than a few turns.
Yeah, that's right. I think CapnBWhite did not check miss, so he did not find that dancing dagger there. All right, looks like nightdew, he's got the Baron key, and looks like he's going to drop that magma key.
He is headed down, potentially.
I'll probably do a shop check here.
Into the underground. Yep, and we may get. There's been a lot of these seeds, but we'll see if nightdew remembers to validate this seed with the early job dwarf check. Because Tomra would be high up on my list of places to head to the minute I drop that magma key in.
High up, I figured for me probably would be one of the first places I'd go to. Maybe Feymarch first, then Tomra, because you get that free key item.
Yeah, that's usually my ordering in one way or the other. I typically would go Tomra first, just in case you happen to find something in the Feymarch that would be free if you had picked up coffins or hourglasses, anything along those lines. Right. But either way, it's a free key item in the Feymarch. And yep, it looks like CapnBWhite.
He's completed
made it through.
Cave. Yep, and wonder if he's gonna go back to Hobbs now. He's got a couple more levels on that Yang.
Yep. After that fight, as someone in chat pointed out, I would definitely be feeling like some more damage might not hurt. He made it through there with about a combined 6 hit points left on his team.
Right, and he's checking the watery pass. I guess he wants to do just a little bit more looting before he heads back to Hobbs, knowing that Hobbs is required because that is where Odin is at.
Yeah, and this is a play. As you saw, he had picked up some exits, so you can dive pretty deep in here, pick up some additional loot, and you can just cast, or you can use that exit item and get right back to where you started.
Right, it looks like Bacchus wines are for sale in the Dwarf Castle, so that's something we're gonna have to remember for later on if we're gonna be going for Zerk strats when we get to Z.
Right now, that's definitely something I would like to purchase, with no one to cast Zerk and only physical damage dealing people on your team.
Oh, nightdew looks like he's running up real quick.
And
he's
let's see if
validate
we get
that seed.
And there we go.
A petroleum refinery worker. I couldn't catch the third word there.
Petroleum efficiency was basically all I caught.
Yeah.
But so validated.
All right, Nightdew's going through the item shop here in Tomra. He's got some coffins.
Oh, and that's a nice pickup. Coffins early on, definitely something you like to see if you can find a siren that makes those those egg grinds free even with a very low level party.
Right, yep, and now he's running down to the Fey March.
So we'll get the free key item check. We'll see which bosses are there. There's no boss hunt.
Right,
so no
more than likely not required.
Reason.
I mean, there is a chance they'll have one of the key items we do need, but we'll probably just do a quick check of those, and then, unless it's a free fight, just jump right out of there.
I would get out of here. Those coffins would make me feel more confident. I would head over to maybe the Baron Inn. It doesn't look nearly as tough considering you have those Bacchus wines in your back pocket right now.
Right, and with the elements being in the Baron Guard spot, they shouldn't be too rough. Oh, there's the hook. The hook is in the Fey March, so that is some value running down there real quick. And we found sirens in the Fey March item shop.
So that's going to be some very quick levels. It's going to be interesting to see how long nightdew waits before finishing that Launch the Falcon objective. You gotta hate putting that Magnus key, or magma key down the well, and then just basically having to immediately turn around and just take the hook route.
Right. Yep, it looks like there's a moon sparkle in the Asura spot and a blue robe. So either Water Hag, and I'm forgetting who else wears the blue robe.
It's Water Hag or the
Fabul Gauntlet. Gauntlet.
Water Hag potentially free, not free for this party. Will hit pretty hard, but all you got to do is hit Water Hag 3 times, and he decides that that's all he can handle.
That's right. Yep. Looks like he's gonna go ahead and just only bought 2 sirens, so he's just gonna do just a really quick grind here. Although 2 sirens at 34,000 apiece will give them quite a huge number of levels.
Rivers, I believe his plan was to run away from the egg fight, at least in the interim. There were coffins for sale.
I believe I did see him buy a few coffins.
As did I. He could have just. I do this on occasion in an encounter that's not a boss fight. Is take an input on run buffering just out of instinct and accidentally run away from the fight. But I'm not sure what precisely happened there. I'm trying to look in the inventory.
Well, I know he used the first siren, realized everybody had 1 hit point. Unless, and I don't remember, if Edward doesn't get experience points. Well, no, he's going to use a Dancing Dagger on himself, so that gets rid of that idea.
Okay, that explains it. Edward's script, Edward the bravely bold Sir Edward runs away the first time his turn comes up when he is at low enough HP. So I think maybe that's what happened. He decided it would be faster and less expensive to get everything set up for this grind.
Right. Also, looks like CapnBWhite. He's back up on Hobbs, taking on Odin again.
And from this damage, I don't think this should be too big of a deal. I'm not sure if he put that Thunderclaw on, but that thing I've pretty much replaced with the Fireclaw, and that comes in handy all throughout this game.
Right, and he's doing some menuing. Nightdew's just doing some menuing here, get set up with some better gear for his character. Now he's got some levels on them.
I'm gonna make the Sheila 1 check. And I think Rivers knew this was happening, which was why he made an early appearance as both people, as we get one dive directly into Fabul, and nightdew is going to take the Sheila 1 check, and my guess is he's also headed right on over to Fabul.
Yeah, get the 2-for-1 there. So I don't think he has the levels yet to try to do keyless tower.
No, I wouldn't take keyless tower here. With the hook and those additional levels, I would definitely consider checking out who that character is, since Baron Inn is not gonna give you too much help.
Yeah, the only thing you're looking for there is it possible? Ooh, okay. Oh, it looks like Edward wanted to take a nap during this fight. They don't need him for Mom Bomb anyway.
We're just gonna get a lot of rest, I think, on both of these streams.
Yeah, he's just gonna nap the whole thing out.
Punches aren't doing enough. This is free. It's just not gonna be the fastest fight.
All right, Captain.
If you're in this, if you're in this position, what would you do? You have the Baron key. You have the Baron Inn. You have to complete ordeals, and you have the hook.
With the level for both characters, I would probably do ordeals right now. CapnBWhite would probably more of a check of ordeals just as he's up there. Get the tower key from the Fabul Gauntlet. With nightdew, I would just go straight for ordeals. With those levels, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Knowing ordeals is required. I would definitely prioritize that. But you also get you have a party where you're looking for definitely some additional, either a white mage, even another physical damage dealer, someone who can do black magic, because you have a pretty straightforward outlook right now. So that character from Baron might actually be interesting to me, given that the levels you have, it's going to be pretty free to get through.
All right, let's see what Sheila has here. She has the Darkness Crystal, so that's going to open up a free character check up on the moon for nightdew.
Wow, value with Sheila 1.
See, at this point, I'd probably, if I'm nightdew, I'd just go ahead and maybe go head up to the moon, do the free character check, then hit up ordeals. And
you might want to launch that. I don't disagree with this strategy either. Ordeals is going to be just entirely trivial, and the XP isn't going to be that much, considering you have access to sirens. And maybe it's just one less trip. It's sort of on the way.
Right, yeah, and yeah, as soon as he's done with ordeals, he can just raise the lunar whale and then head on up to the moon and grab that free kick.
I would, well, as Rivers is pointing out here, Fu apparently has to be behind the Sand Ruby. This is something I wasn't aware of, but then again, I don't know nearly as much.
I don't know, but
we got Yang versus Yang.
And a napping Edward. We're probably just going to see that every fight from here on out, with as long as Edward's still in that party.
Yang turned to Edward and was like, "Hey, I dropped something. I lost a contact. Do you think it's down there on the floor? Could you just look around for me real quick?" Ah, okay. So that's the only Fu. The double Edward, probably not what you'd love to see, but with these seeds, everyone is available. It's just a question of who and where.
Right, and we got some Dark Imps sneaking up on the group up.
I wish this was reversed. Just for the sake of, if you get Karate in the back attack position, his kicks go all the way around the world. to catch you in the back, and it is a very entertaining animation to see. So we will get the character check as well. It looks like CapnBWhite.
Well, no, because he doesn't have the darkness.
Well, he hasn't done this. He hasn't done Sheila 1. My apologies.
Yep, nope. He's just looks like he's checking the Mysidia shops where we have some star veils.
To have the starter kit comes with some, but in all probability, you're gonna need a few extra. I'm gonna go the dark imps. Let's see if we get a key item here. Yeah, we are really only looking for at this point for go mode.
Right, yeah, as soon as we find that twin harp, whoever finds it first will be in go mode. And looks like CapnBWhite, he is looks like he's gonna be dropping his magma key here in just a second. And a moon veil from the cave on top of Ordeals, and some Baron in cards. Or the soldiers.
Well, that's not the fight you want to see here, because it is basically a free boss in a free boss spot. You want to go quick, so might as well move it along.
As Rivers points out, yes, if the Twin Harp was here on Ordeals, it would wrap this up in a hurry. I already have a feeling this is going to be a pretty jetty seed unless that Twin Harp is hiding someplace particularly nasty.
Well, I'm nightdew as contrary as you might think at certain times. I'm potentially looking for. You definitely want a Tella, maybe a Fu. You do have the Sirens available, and you do have to do Vanilla Crystal Swords, so you're either thinking it's going to be dragons or potentially a D machine, depending on how quickly this harp shows up. But yes, as we know, there's always the potential that is hidden behind something mean or through a chain that starts in one location and leads you to everywhere else on the world. So it's looking jetty, but you never know with these seeds.
Right. It looks like CapnBWhite, it looks like he's going to use a Siren, but I didn't see him pick up any coffins or anything to actually kill the dragon with. And at this low level, that's a real risk.
Yes, these dragons have... if you can one-shot these dragons one way or the other, you never have to deal with an attack. It looks like Captain... Oh, he has an hourglass, so that will at least stop the dragon. But if you hit them and you don't kill them, they hatch, and they do not like to be taken out of their slumber.
No, they do not, but it looks like, yep, he got that, use that hourglass and just going to beat up on the egg and make an omelet.
Knowing there were coffins, there's even, Bacchus wine. This is gonna get XP. It's not the most speedy way to get that done, but still, those levels are gonna be much appreciated.
Yep. All right. And, he's got his levels there for just using the one Siren. Looks like he's going to go get his hook, and nightdew's heading up to the moon.
So that will get both of them in the position of only needing to find harp. And nightdew's going to give us a check on this character up here.
Right now, Maggie, the cat, pointing out in the chat that knowing the luck, the harp is actually probably going to be from D-Mist, and D-Mist will be vanilla because they've already both gone past it. And since they're done with their boss hunt, they might not think they have a reason to go back there.
Very true. You can only pray. Given everything else we've seen, the required Odin at Earth Crystal 1 in the Antideal match, there's always the potential for cruelty. And there's Lyridia from the moon. Yep.
So, yep, he's got that. He's heading back to the overworld. I'm wondering where he's going to go next.
this is me right here with the levels I have and the characters I've gotten. I would think either check the hook character and just gut it out and do the hook route, or I would go Baron into going into the underworld and checking that that character as well at the at the dwarf castle, just trying to get my party organized for a potential grind, given that you have access to everything you need to get as leveled up as possible.
Right. Also, with some decent equipment in his inventory for that Rydia, this will make the maybe she'll actually be able to survive these fights here in the Baron, especially this first one against the element.
There's two paths that you can take here. You either want this Rydia to get experience, or you're potentially thinking maybe I want to slingshot her, depending on who else shows up in this seed. You already have the Yang and the Sid, so your damage output's going to be okay. Well, I guess you don't really have a choice in the matter on that one.
Nope. And some. Oh, here are the Baron, where the Baron and guards are hiding.
And you gotta be very grateful that you got those sirens. Great strategy that prevents them from getting through their scripts as far as reacting to hits that they're taking. But without those levels, this is one of the tougher places to find these guys, because they hit very hard, and if you don't have any mage protection, you're going to take a lot of damage, as you can see.
Right. Yep. And it looks like he's going to use a Bacchus wine there on Sid. Just help get through these guys just a little bit faster, because they are hitting hard.
I've run into serious problems with these guys here. And if you don't have anything that does additional damage to mages, you can tank, as you can see. I mean, he's going to make it through, but he's tanked 2,000-3,000 damage from these two guys in the matter of 3 or 4 turns.
Getting lucky there that he missed that time when he tried to swing at Yang.
Oh, nightdew made an on-the-fly play, which very well might have been the right one. He decided to use that Moonveil sooner rather than later, and that basically guaranteed that fight. The Moonveil is something that you pick it up. If you're only getting physical damage, then you have no concern anymore about the fight. It's also something where you pick it up, it goes in your inventory, and then you forget about it for the rest of the race until you get to Z, and then you realize you've had a Moonveil the whole time. So using it early, definitely something I appreciate here.
Right, and looks like we found out who's in the Leviathan spot, and that was the Water Hag, and his reward for beating the Water Hag was the Avenger Sword. So CapnBWhite with a good sword, if you can find a character that can equip it. And looks like nightdew is going to go smack the third Yang we've seen in the seed with the pan.
Oh, I gotta say, as much value as Sheila 1 was, he was one stop away from picking up the pan. So you gotta, in the back of your head, you're maybe cringing a little bit just at the fact that you're going right back into the Fey Marsh or right back into the Sylph Cave once you've already pulled it.
All right, looks like we've lost nightdew stream for the time being. And it looks like CapnBWhite, he's going in. I don't know if he validated the seed or not.
He made very sure that this seed was validated. Much appreciated from CapnBWhite. And here's where you're going to find those coffins, which maybe wishing you had when you popped that siren. But now that you picked up some more value and going to make that grind, getting to those levels that nightdew had a little easier here.
Right, as King Edgar Figueroa pointed out in the chat, he swung the pan so hard it broke his stream.
looks like nightdew having a little technical issues here, but we should be able to get him back up, depending on how soon he gets that delay set up. But we'll still have CapnBWhite looks like potentially exploring some areas we haven't seen, so maybe we'll get some new information here.
Yep. Gonna do a pot heal real quick, and let's see where he heads to next. I'm thinking he maybe might use a couple of sirens just to get a few levels to go check some of the other locations.
Let me see. These levels, this first fight might be a little bit of an issue, but it's also some more experience. It's another character. It's a key item.
It's an octopus.
And ooh, well, this is going to hit pretty hard and be relatively quick. But assuming he picked up that Thunderclaw, it's in the Bacchus wines. There's definitely a decent chance of getting through here. Octomom, if you can get through hits, becomes gradually slower and slower. Hey, well, this is whatever Yang has equipped. He's not taking nearly the amount of damage to be super.
It's not
concerned.
a Thunderclaw, but yeah, it's not hitting as hard as I thought he would at this spot. I think Edgar just shot an arrow at himself as he wants to take another nap.
Oh, Eddie just gonna be napping on both of these screens. There's the potential for some utility. We've already seen Odin, so that strat might be out of the way.
Yeah, I'm wondering if at this point, if he beats this boss, gets the character check, if he just keeps on going, if it's a character he's not looking for.
Yeah, you get through this, and you're hoping you pick up somebody who has maybe some immediate value, because you still have one more boss fight, and it's a simpler boss.
Yeah, I think the
you
best
don't want to go into it with one character.
Right, and looks like he's going to nope right out of that. It was getting just a little bit too rough. Yeah, I think what you look for there is either a Cecil or a Kane, someone who can equip that Avenger Sword.
This is, as I've mentioned, and I will continue to mention, Thunderclaw, Thunderclaw, Thunderclaw.
Yep, I've discovered through the course of this tournament, there's a lot more things weak to lightning and Thunderclaws than I ever realized in this.
Definitely respect this play here. Going right on over to Ordeals. Some more free bosses. Still no check on the Hook character.
No, that surprises me so far, because again, it's just another character check. You know it's not going to be an Edward, and you're probably still looking for some sort of healer, either a Porum or a Rosa at this point.
Danable asked in chat, nightdew was having some technical difficulties. He took the pan into the Sylph Cave, and basically when he hit Yang, it was so hard that it broke his stream. So we're gonna have a reset. He'll be back up in a few minutes here.
Right, is CapnBWhite here is gonna fight his alter ego.
This poor Edward.
Man, one of these days, just watching this is gonna make me feel sorry for Edward one of these days. It may not be today, but...
Oh, there may come a day, but it is not this day. So I have to ask. I would consider going Baron here if I was CapnBWhite. It's not the hardest of boss fights. It's an additional character. If you're still fading the Hook route, I'm staring down Baron.
Yeah, and even having Iridia would help. Just another, even if it's just something else for the enemies to target and hit. I'm surprised he's going to use the coffins on these dark imps.
They don't have very much HP. but safety, you can't blame him for wanting to just get through this fight. Although I think he sees how little they're hitting for and is deciding to change tack here.
Yeah, with the Mylon Z spot there, yeah. I don't think it hits too hard, and as he's discovered, it's not hitting hard enough for him to actually use those coffins just to get through really quickly. Although getting through quickly may be of an advantage here.
If I had 7 or 8 coffins, I would feel much more comfortable throwing them out in a boss fight like this, which CapnBWhite does. Going to find the Kaipo guards here.
Yep, he'll fight his Kaipo guards and get a Moon Veil.
So unless he goes directly to Baron in, which is definitely a respectable play, we'll at least maybe get some new information. As nightdew shortly, deciding to save his coffins on. May want to just throw out on that officer to speed up the attack. Otherwise, he's going to continue ordering these soldiers around.
Right. And if I remember correctly, this is actually a pretty fast spot. So that officer's going to just keep ordering them. Well, not if they're gone. So.
So very low HP. So maybe just hold A.
Hold A to win.
As Eddie continues his eternal nap,
and
hey,
I guess,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say now CapnBWhite has finished Mount Ordeals. He is lights up objective number 4. So theoretically, both runners are tied at this point. nightdew is probably just a little bit ahead as he's done more checks, but we'll find out when his stream comes back up.
I'm very intrigued to see what that pan has to offer, because as we've mentioned, there's only one key item that's missing from either of these runners, and that is the harp, which is required.
Yes, there's a secret part of me that's hoping that using that will pan out for him, and then another part of me that hopes it does not.
It fried one of our runners' streams, so hopefully this will this won't bonk nearly as hard.
I'm out of pan puns.
So just the Yang hitting Yang with the pan after defeating Yang on Mount Ordeals. This guy is at least what, triplets?
Yes. Yep. All right. He's so let's see where he's where CapnBWhite's heading up to. Oh, he's gonna check that hook out.
All right, I'm excited to see this.
I am too. It's something we haven't seen yet.
And there's a free character. At the worst case, shop check. Although at this point we've seen basically all of the items that you're looking for, but always good to check.
And there he goes. Now he has a Thunderclaw.
Just after defeating 2 of the primary enemies that you're looking to use it on, I thought there was one originally in Baron, but I could be wrong.
Silk webs might be of some value here, so we'll see if he decides to pick a few up.
Selling a tiara, you hate to do that, but then again, you don't have anybody to wear it at this point.
Right, and he did have 2 of them, so he still has one for whenever he does either goes to the moon and finds Rydia, or if he finds either Rosa or Porum someplace else.
See, we get any value here. There is a light sword, but it's not something you want to shell out 60K on, and you haven't seen the Cecil yet.
Right. So yeah, that's definitely something you're going to pass up for the time being. And he does have that Avenger sword if he does find a Cecil.
Very true. Checking these chests, I guess probably not going to have an issue with the Staleman. I guess here we go. We're about to find out.
Yep.
This is one of those where almost any party can potentially struggle against these guys. They're similar to the guards in that they hit a lot. They have the potential to put your characters into the deepest of sleeps, and by that I mean they can punch them repeatedly and they still won't wake up.
Right. Yep. And they're even punching pretty hard right here, but it looks like he's gonna get through it.
As long as they don't both get put to sleep, this should be over with.
All right. Yep. He's gotten through both of them. And was that a Zeus gauntlet?
That was a Zeus gauntlet. So maybe not a fight that you would expect everyone to take, but that is quite the reward there, and that makes you can loot all the rest of this.
Yep. So it probably was worth it in the end, and putting that Zeus gauntlet on the Sid's gonna make him hit just a little bit harder.
I'm excited for this character. I'm very intrigued to see the boss. The levels are decent, but there are still some very annoying characters that can be blocking this. And objective 1 is launch the Falcon, so eventually required to take this hook route.
Right. I'm looking for a Rosa here, or a Porum. That for me, that would be probably one of the better characters you could find here at this particular spot.
You're definitely the primary thing that's lacking is healing. Black magic secondary at this point, but a white mage or dual mage, anybody that can cast a healing spell would be appreciated.
And it looks like he's just gonna loot the entire cave. No reason not to at this point. You found the trap chest.
More free items. This is S standard though, so as opposed to, or T standard, so as opposed to T Pro, there's not really any weighting on them. So it's going to be the same items as you would see anywhere else.
Right. Also, it looks like, oh, we found Edge, so that'll help dish out a little bit more damage. But again, you're still lacking that healing magic.
Not the worst find. And that was a lunar sparkle, I believe, in the hook route.
That looked like an antlion to me.
Was that antlion? I'm sorry, I only caught him as he was running away. So, yeah, with an all physical party, you actually do not want to see someone like antlion there.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to be the best spot for that. That's going to be a fun fight from our point of view. Yes, also because Edge was there, the obligatory. Is this even randomized?
Wants to get into the game. Looks like continued looting. So this is one particular thing with these seats is the trap chests have the potential of just giving you either incredible value or taking up a fair amount of your time, particularly when you have sirens and the like available.
Right, and the trap chest in here, the format ogres, that I don't know how easy a fight that's going to be with this particular group.
I don't see any. You don't have a rune axe or an ogre axe, charm claw, any of the things that would deal overwhelming damage to them, but relatively strong party. So there's the ogre axe.
Speaking of ogre axes, And
Yep.
one of these chests, this chest right here, probably has to be the Mad. No, it doesn't have to be the Mad Ogre chest. I wonder where it is.
It's going to be in the spot that I lovingly refer to as the middle finger. You'll see relatively soon why I call it that. And there's only one chest left, but it is less ideal because you're gonna have to take damage right next to where the boss fight is. So you either have to come back, or you got to use up equipment or items to heal up, and then if you don't save and you want that XP and you do happen to take a wipe, you're gonna have to go back and do it again.
All right, looks like he's swapping that Zeus Gauntlet out, putting that on Edge. It might be more use there.
And I saw him. He had the boomerang, so Edge is back row glitched. Edge with his Zeus Gauntlet. Edge is going to be a ninja sword and a long sword. And here's the middle finger.
Yep, which will have the 4 Mad Ogres. But he did not equip that Ogre Axe on Sid, at least not yet. And he's going to go ahead and hit them with the Hourglass. And it looks like Nightdew's coming back up.
There we go. Nightdew only really managed to move from the the Sylph Cave over to the grind spot in that break. But
right,
we'll have to take a look.
Right, I don't think we got the unless he did the pan check while the stream was still coming back up and we just didn't see it, or if he hasn't done it yet.
Well, yeah, there's a Cecil, and we know the Cecil is not from the hook route. And no Edge, so maybe he hasn't gone hook.
Now I'm just wondering where that Cecil came from.
I would think he did Baron. That's going to be my guess.
Yeah.
Baron, or yeah, as Jeeves points out in chat, Baron or Dwarf would be the likely candidate.
Right, and he is still level 1. He was level 1.
So wherever he was, he just came from it. That Cecil is going to be online, and that Cecil is going to be dealing out some real damage.
Right, it looks like CPU is at the King and Queen Eblon spot, so...
Actually, of all the places to find CPU, this is not the worst.
Nope, just
this is
keeping up on that.
You got to be quick though. Yeah, that lack of healing is going to make this. This is going to be a race to see if you can get through. But other than that, it's not the highest HP location. You got, I believe the percentage is just under 10. So you have a few rounds to get through it, but you don't really have many options for healing, so you want to get through this fast.
Right, and hopefully he can get through it relatively quickly, because that attacker, he's just going to keep mazing you and dropping that health slowly and surely.
From Nightdew's progress here, right past the Dwarf Castle again. So I'm just trying to figure out where that Cecil came from.
Okay, and Maggie the Cat pointing out he doesn't have the pan or the Baron Key in his inventory, but has a spoon and an adamant. So you got a spoon and a rock for his pan and his Baron Key.
Okay, good to know. So he's kept himself busy.
Yep, and
I gotta hate to see that though when you're mid race and you gotta scramble to try to fix a technical glitch while you're in the middle of a race.
Right. Okay, and CapnBWhite looks like he's heading back downstairs. He got caught up with Nightdew there for a second. Up there's Antlion. He's waiting for him. See how this fight goes for him.
His Cecil not get any levels from that egg?
Oh, he should have. He should have gotten quite a few because he should have been slingshotted up.
Oh, he took a reset. Oh, okay. Thank you, Poydrek, for the update. This is the interesting fight over on CapnBWhite's screen. Antlion script has Antlion counterattacking after every physical attack, and the only one who can non-physical attack outside of the throw is going to be the power command from Yang. Okay, there it comes.
Yep. Also, throwing weapons with edge, I don't think triggers it.
Yeah, Fries. Anything that isn't the direct fight command is going to keep him away from that that counter attack. Although the Antline's still going to hit pretty hard here.
Right, yep, and he's just going to be chucking weapons. Well, he's not hitting that hard. I mean, I know Edge is in the back row, but still only hit for 24. There we go. And now CapnBWhite, realizing he has that Ogre Axe in his inventory, is going to use it.
Let's just hope we didn't miss nightdew picking up that music, Fries, because I've still got my fingers crossed that.
As do I.
We're gonna be
I know we're going to hear it at least once, but I'm going to want to hear it twice.
So the Cecil's nice. Finding the edge here. Still on the hunt for a white mage. A real black mage. No offense to Rydia.
Oh, surprise there. He's dropping his Sid to take that edge. That's probably a good play right there. And also using that boomerang to back row glitch.
I wonder, I saw that CapnBWhite had a curse ring. If nightdew doesn't have a curse ring, then you might not want to keep the Sid around as an anchor, and rather just maybe you like the look of Eddie staring at the floor
for the entire game. And nightdew's not checking the chests here. He's just gonna go right on through.
It's not too surprising. Honestly, picking up that Zeus Gauntlet is, when I run these things, if I get one good thing out of a trap chest, I basically think, well, that's the one good thing for this seed.
As Mr. Tanuki in the chat points out, Rudy does have some good points. Yes, Sylph for the early game and the early mid game is really great if you have Sylph summon on Riddy.
Rydia has some value. I can't deny that, but when you have the levels you has or is going to have relatively shortly, you're going to need a little more healing than the Sylph summon can provide. Good job on that fight from CapnBWhite.
Yep, he got through it. It looks like he is going to complete objective number 1 by launching the Falcon as soon as he goes through the upper part of Lower Babel. Ooh, and nightdew killing that attacker there. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
Maybe thinking that you can just power through this fight. Probably, given the spot here, not something you intended to do.
Yeah, peak. And yeah, gets Yang back up, and then there goes Cecil. And he powers through before they can regenerate, so that actually did pay off just a little bit. Just again, no levels on that Cecil, but that's a non-experienced spot anyway.
Hoping to see CapnBWhite peek who's at the top of tower. But it didn't look like he did. Maybe we'll get to see that from nightdew. D-Mist still lurking around somewhere. And as was mentioned in chat, half tower value with these seeds is definitely something I've seen more than once.
Well, they both have the tower key, so they can check both spots. So you don't have to worry about doing the half. I mean, if there's just something really bad at the top, you could just go right to the super cannon room, which is practically free.
Also, again, Thunderclaw. Thunderclaw can one-hit those searchers either on the Yang or the Edge. So you can check 4 trap chests on your way up there for, maybe a Crystal Sword, Cat Claw, either of Edge's Hitori, Hanzo, Katanas, very quickly while you're going up there, and you're making 2 checks anyway.
All right. Now we're going to get to see CapnBWhite here do his Baron check, which was, I believe we may have missed on nightdew side.
I don't think I'm wrong on this Thunderclaw. Thunderclaw for president. Thunderclaw better than Crystal Sword. We might have to nerf Thunderclaw in version 5.0 of the randomizer.
Right,
assuming that this is... Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just pointing out, he's powering through that antlion.
Yeah. Not enough damage output for a party with these levels from this antlion, although...
Yeah, using a Bacchus Wine on Edge is just turn the antlion into a counter-attacking machine.
This is, your lack of white mages here is gonna at least slow down the fight. I don't think he's at any risk of completely, but
right
now that I say that, it's looking a little more dire.
Yeah, because I believe that they're both berserked, so they're just both gonna keep swinging away till either, and there goes Edge. There's one left.
This is a race. This looks like my Zeroma's fights.
And looks like nightdew wins.
Good win for nightdew. Missing out on some XP, but again, Sirens. So, not costing too much time. You just want to win that fight.
Right, yep. And CapnBWhite's heading upstairs after beating the evil wall.
This will confirm on the idea that all we missed from nightdew was Baron, what the key item was, who the boss was, and maybe potentially who's on the throne, or the Odin spot. Flame from Edge here should take care of those ghasts at least.
Right, and then you just focus on Mylon. And all of his lightning counterattacks that'll do. Oh, that actually hit Edge harder than I thought it would.
Anyone in chat notice? I saw nightdew peeked the top of tower boss, but I didn't actually get a glimpse of who it was. And I called one thing a Lunar Sparkle once, so I'm not gonna make that mistake again. All right, it was a Lunar Sparkle. All right, I don't just have something in my eyes. All
right, yeah, he's going for the healing pot, and then I guess he's gonna check Dwarf Castle next, so go ahead and check out that boss, see what that key item is. And character.
Now we know this is Octomam here, so there is a specific weapon that's going to really trivialize this fight.
I wonder, it's not like a lightning fist, is it?
It's it may or may not be a claw, and it may or may not have a specific elemental weakness associated with it. Earthhammer's close. Earthhammer similar to the Thunder Claw, but I mean, who wants to keep a sit around? Oh, he's already got it equipped. That's the pro strat right there. You leave that Thunder Claw on.
Yeah, and he's hitting fairly hard there at that spot. And Edward has stayed alive a lot longer in this fight than I thought he would. Okay, there he goes. He fixed it.
Poor Edward. Really got to be, you got to be remiss to a certain degree that you don't get 10 to 12 more levels on Cecil. Granted, this fight will hopefully do it, but if we know anything, it's that every one of these bosses knows who you're trying to get the levels on and will knock them straight to the ground just with their dying breath.
All right, Octomam's out of the way. Yeah, 6 levels on Cecil. That's not too bad. And I know he's probably looking for somebody very specific here.
We haven't seen Vorum Rydia. We haven't seen Fu. We haven't seen Tella. And there's Kane.
Yeah, let's see. Yep, he's probably doing exactly what I would do here and not keep Kane. And let's see. It's Pale Dim, so this isn't too bad. And he's not hitting very hard either.
Well, this is the easier of the two spots. Not the worst place to see someone like Pale Dim.
CapnBWhite is enjoying his French vanilla Baronin guards right now.
That will get CapnBWhite the pan as well, so we'll get some crossover as far as seeing specifically what that pan check was. This Dragon Whip does have its utility.
Yes, it was very that went MVP in that fight against Pale Dim there.
Sadly, one of the few bosses that you don't want to use that Thunderclaw. But
wait, you mean there's a boss that the Thunderclaw isn't useful against?
It's still okay. It's still okay.
Yep. Oh, there's a Legend Sword from Luca.
Cecil definitely pretty okay with that, and you get access to the Kakol shop, which has the potential to give you all of the things that you want,
and then more.
Yeah, you can go in there and spend your life savings and only get about half of what you were looking for.
Yep, and he's gonna get the Excalibur out of it. It's gonna make Cecil just a powerhouse, just power through most of the rest of the game.
What's the value?
Wow, that's one of the best shops I've seen. I saw at least some sort of crystal armor, Artemis arrows, Stardust rod.
Stardust rod.
All right, and CapnBWhite, he's gonna go smack gang with that pan, hopefully with more success this time. And there's the
Okay.
rat tail. So the sylphs had the rat tail, which you can check because we already have the hook. Now I'm
So
wondering
we
if
can
Captain
fill
B.
it in.
Yep, I'm gonna go assume CapnBWhite's gonna go right up to that Sheila 2 check right now.
Yeah, this routing by CapnBWhite by doing the hook first and then circling back to these things actually has been very complimentary as far as keeping us informed on everything that we might have missed from what we can assume that nightdew was doing while he was out.
And it looks like CapnBWhite's gonna check that rat tail really quickly as Nightdew's heading up the tower. And there's a spoon.
There is a spoon.
And
So,
let's see if he's gonna go do that Sheila 2 check.
gonna get us Sheila 1 and Sheila 2. And nightdew making this tower play, so this will be some new information. Again, only looking for the twin harp. So, Fries, if you, as a commentator, where do you want to find the twin harp?
So the nice person in me says that the twin harp would be right here. Would actually be down in the super cannon room. But as a commentator, I'm hoping it's behind Zod. It's at the end of Zod, which is locked by the Earth Crystal, and the Earth Crystal is locked behind an alt Gauntlet on Okopoke. Speaking of the nope rope.
Ooh. That is not the dragon. That is not the sparkle. Well, not the sparkle you would have liked, primarily. And this is, again, one of those no white mage situations.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I did miss what was on Sheila 2 by looking at the nope rope. Oh, it was a white robe on Sheila 2. Okay, so nothing much there except for that pan check.
I'm not overly concerned about Ogo here. However, a punch like that directly into that damage dealing and with two Zerkers, there's the potential that there might be an issue, but I'm going to assume that this is relatively okay here.
Yeah, he's Edge and Yang are just chopping right through him, and Cecil's Berserk too. So yeah, they're just gonna cut right through. All right, let's see. CapnBWhite's heading up the tower. Is he gonna check the tower key? He's gonna check the tower key first. So they're probably gonna not quite high five each other. And that's well, we have two dragons.
Double dragons, double nope ropes. Oh, my hope is that D-Mist is hiding behind either some sort of chain or up at the giant, because right now there's not a great reason to go up to the giant. Although, as pointed out in chat by Max Frost, nightdew is up to 10 key items, so we may be seeing one form of a grind or another coming up.
Right. Either he's gonna he's gonna try to find a Rosa or a Porum somewhere, or just decide that, you know what, I'm just gonna stick with this. Edward's gonna be my anchor and go grind.
That Leviathan, not sure if anyone's familiar, but there's a weapon that's really that Leviathan doesn't like either. I don't know if it's a weapon so much as, you know, something you put on your hand.
Oh yeah, it's the Fire Claw.
Yeah. And I got my streams confused. I thought CapnBWhite was only doing the bottom of tower.
No, he's heading upstairs right now. He's gonna go fight. He fought one nope rope. Now he's gonna go fight the real nope rope.
We've had the small. Now it's time to try the medium. Ooh, so we know Captain's not finding the harp here. Let's see if nightdew can get that last key item. Otherwise, I believe he's down to Fey March bosses or heading on up to the moon if this doesn't lead to any additional checks.
Yeah, I think Feymarch is really the only place left because, I mean, he could check one boss at Zappa. He won't be able to get the key items. Oh, and it's a white spear. I wonder if at this point you're thinking maybe getting that cane back.
My opinion is it's a little late, even with the defense sword. You got some great things on your edge. You have a ninja sword and a long sword. You have Excal Cecil. You have Lightning Claw Yang, and all of their XP growth is going to be as good, if not better, than what you're going to get from Kane. Even if you slingshot Kane, unless you're thinking D Machine at this point. But I would doubt, with the levels that you have, that you think that's justified.
Right. Looks like he's picking up some cure twos. I think he's planning on not finding a healer at all at this point.
Well, given that you don't have any items that would be gating an additional character check at this point, you have to go fight either the Fey March bosses or the Moon bosses. So, in the interim, you're at least going to need as much healing as you can find.
Right. It looks like we're going to be going to the moon first now. Is he going to check the Bahamut gate? I didn't see if he checked the Hummingway shop or not.
I'm not sure. I don't think he checked the first time he went up there. But we have Bacchus, we have Hourglasses, we have Sirens. With this party, maybe Cure 3s is probably the only real potential item that you're going to locate that's going to give you too much value, although maybe going to check right now. So
right, yeah, he went into the Lunar Subterranean Castle, and yep, he's going to go check the Hummingway shop real quick. And he's got some Hourglass 2s there, but that's really it for that shop. Now, does he check Cave Bahamut as it's a faster check, or is he going to dive the moon?
That's an interesting question, particularly with these parties. You have the ability to get to the end game levels, but you're missing, one of the primary functions in a white mage. So you might be looking to grab something quick and go chase it before you do any additional grinding.
Right, and CapnBWhite, he's noping out of Ogopogo. He did not actually defeat him.
Yeah, if you can't get the damage up quick enough, you only get a few rounds against Ogo. Right, without a white mage and.
Yeah, also, we know that there's no value there, so maybe he's just thinking that there's just probably not value there, and he's just going to move on.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt him in the long run. Just never coming back to this tower of noodles.
Right. Yep. And looks like nightdew, he's going to go bottom up, or is he going to try maybe check the Crystal Sword altar first, see if there's more than one value?
I think it's required.
There's a save point right before it.
I would peek that boss. But yeah, I mean, you're diving pretty deep. Even if you pull out the lunar harp, you might still be interested in finding something additional, because Z is not going to be fun with this party comp.
Right. Nightdew still heading downstairs. Looks like CapnBWhite, he's going to try his hands at Octomom again.
And it looks like, okay. Nightdew taking a quick stop for at least one gold dragon. Gonna quickly put that Edward right back to sleep. What are you doing awake? Go back to your room.
Did he actually have two characters try to hit Edward?
One of the dragons was like, "Hey, your Edward's awake. Let me fix that for you before
okay, that's why Edge hit himself. And Cecil's just whacking everything.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty consistent strategy for the remainder of this seed.
Oh, and life glitching on that first dragon.
This is going to net some very good XP, 180,000 XP.
Yep, so that's going to be some levels on that Cecil. Yep, 8 level, about average of about 8 levels each character, so that's going to help with whichever fight he chooses next.
Jeebus, that's what I've been thinking as well. As Jeebus says in chat, you have Bacchus Wine. You have 3 people pretty well equipped, 3 Zerkers, and maybe potentially Rydia throwing off nukes, and you very well might just skip the second Big Bang entirely.
Right,
particularly knowing that all you need is the Twin Harp at this point, so you're not going to go to Earth Crystal unless you've cleared pretty much everything else.
Right, because that would take a large chunk of time. And let's see what we have here on the Crystal Sword Altar. Dr. Lugat.
It is considered a machine, and you know what does additional damage to those things is Thunderclaw. So much Thunderclaw, I'm sorry.
It's a thing. We just got to get used to it.
Yeah, Lugat, not too dangerous in this spot. And this is going to check off everything besides the required music. So we'll eventually get the harps out in chat. It's just a question of where is this Twin Harp located?
And, okay, so phase 1 of Lugat is down, and only person who suffered that was Edward, to the surprise of absolutely no.
Oh, Edward!
I always hope for one day he pulls through one of these fights, and it's just not going to happen.
I'm hoping maybe you run into Dark Knight Cecil at the Element spot before Yang has enough HP to tank it, and then Edward gets his day.
Yeah, the only thing it's going to take up time on this Dr. Lugat fight is all these gas counters every time somebody who's Berserk is going to whack him. But it looks like he can't hit anybody with it, so...
This is not a very high magic attack spot, all things considered.
Right, just got through it really quickly, so that's mark off objective number 5 for nightdew. And it's an edge sword.
Additional value, you don't hate to see it, considering you're looking at just an absolute overwhelming power fight against Aromas right now. But it's not the Twin Harp, it's not the tunes.
No, we need some tunes. And at this point, I think he's just going to keep heading downstairs and just check each of those altars.
You're getting double XP. You have decent levels here. You have a powerful party against all but maybe a select few bosses. So I would take these fights, and the levels are just going to follow along.
Yeah, the only thing I foresee having trouble with is if one of these spots has a Wyvern. And even then, maybe getting a Star Veil or 2 up before Wyvern cast that opening Mega Nuke, you can hopefully pull it off.
It's true. He is someone that we. Well, I don't know the gender of these characters, but Wyvern is somebody that we have not seen yet.
Nope, and we find the Magus sisters hiding out on the moon. I guess they didn't like their digs in Zot.
So they probably won't be too long for this world.
Probably not. This isn't a
But
high HP spot, but I think it has decent magic attack because that fire too did hit Edge for about 800.
yeah, they can definitely be dangerous here. It's a question of if he has any mage mashing weapons that he can zerk someone up with.
Yep, and it looks
I
like
think it's
yep,
more a
there's
question
Bob.
of length than it is of actually succeeding in this fight.
Yep, and his group, as usual, is just drinking all their Bacchus wines and enjoying themselves.
They're having a party. Edward's asleep on the floor.
There's always somebody like at a party that's always asleep on the floor.
Got his shoes on too, so he's fair game. Eddie is the lightweight. Eddie is the lightweight of FF4. Lord Guru.
Right, and as Coffee and Chocobus points out that if you wanted to, you could turn this into a grind fight by having the sisters revive each other more than once and just keep killing.
In this location, even if you do it on accident, it's a happy little mistake, assuming you get through the fight. It looks like, well, I think one more round of these Zerkers may take care of it, but she's probably close to bringing her sisters back into the game. Yeah, that's going to take care of it.
So, yep, Cecil with the final blow. That was over 200,000 experience points, it looked like.
It's 200,040?
Right, and package and the Twin Harp. There we go. So, nightdew is now in go mode.
Is nightdew maybe going to take a look at the current levels, make a decision on
Nope, he's
going into the Z? Yep. Well, there's always the potential for eggs, but
Right,
he's going to have to come back down. I'm sorry. He doesn't have to pass, so you got some time to think about it.
That's right. Yeah, he can think about it. Unless the pass just happens to be in Cave Magnus. And as amazing Ampharos points out in the chat, he may actually just check that package real quick just to see if it actually is either a Rosa or Porn.
So there's a potential white major package. It's in all probability some form of somebody who can cast a white spell, unless it's Palom.
Yeah, it's the only character that could be, like, if it's Fu. Well, we saw Fu is in Kaipo.
Well, I will personally say, if this is me at this point, I'm just gonna go Zerkers, put the controller down, and expect to kill Z with these characters and these weapons and the levels. I mean, he could do one more gold dragon, potentially on the way back down, but
yeah,
that's what I'm thinking here.
Or maybe hope there's like a King or Queen Eblon at one of the altars real quick. Hangry Canuck asks if you do get the Earth Crystal in the vanilla spot here in Cave Magnus, would you go check Zot? I personally would not at this point, as how much time it would take.
Yeah, there's too much power in this party. You have Excal Cecil, you have Murasame Ninja Sword on your edge, and your Yang is gonna have decent XP and is gonna punch for maybe 2,000 a hit. So, as much as a white mage would have been nice to have, I'm just trying to get through this as quickly as possible here.
Right, alright. We're gonna... Yang's just gonna punch himself real quick to get through this first part of the fight. Unfortunately, it looks like Dark Elf's gonna get those spells off first.
And for anyone unfamiliar, the along with the boss locations and everything else, the music is randomized. So we're going to be quiet here while we get a song from DJ Spoony B. Pointing out that this is the music was from Lufia 2.
Right, I don't know the exact title of it, but yep, that was from Lufia 2. And oh, we get the Luca key as a reward for listening to some really good music. Also, as a reward for listening to really good music is a crystal.
So nightdew in go mode. No pass though, so you got to make the slow walk. Cecil is at least nice enough to have the exit spell.
Well, he's a pal like that, When you don't bring somebody who can get you out of a room quickly, he's there to help you out.
I say put a life staff on Cecil and let him be your white mage. Just for the sake of it.
With the damage Yang and Edge are going to be putting out, that's probably not the worst idea in the world if you have a life staff.
And yep, nightdew I would expect is just gonna fly as quickly as possible.
Yep, just gotta remember where he parked his lunar whale. Or not.
It looks like probably gonna grab another siren or two. I believe when he did his gold dragon fight up there, he only had the one siren.
Right.
Or in the Fey March, I believe.
Yeah, they're in the Fey March, so gotta take a little bit of a run down there. And CapnBWhite, he's fighting. He's making an omelet over on the Peninsula of Power over there. And I guess nightdew deciding that it's just not worth it to go all the way down the Fey March to go get those sirens. And oh, he found his car, and he's gonna take it to the moon.
It's probably of a potential value to either try to get a trap chest fight in the lunar subterranean or just turn encounters on as you walk versus going all the way down to the Fey March to grab a siren. His levels are relatively close to. I mean, he'd probably still be a winnable Z fight at this point, but just not as comfortable.
Right, and being only hour and a half in, and this has been a relatively jetty seed so far, I wonder if he's thinking if CapnBWhite is close to him, and he's like, well, I should get up there quickly, or if I should take the time to just maybe grind out a couple more levels.
The location of the Twin Harp, knowing that Crystal Sword was required, that would be, as we saw from nightdew, that would be my second check in the lunar subterranean. So if CapnBWhite had gone moon, although we see him down in the Fey March, I would be thinking, it's very likely that someone else is also in go mode.
Right. Yep. And looks like CapnBWhite's going back down. Is he gonna fight that moon sparkle there? Probably just fighting that, hoping to see the Twin Harp there. And he found Plague.
Gonna quickly punch Eddie again.
Right, yep, he's gonna... And then using some hourglasses here on this this double dragon fight here on the moon. And he's probably gonna
pretty much the ideal fight that you're looking for if you're just taking fights in the lunar subterranean.
Yep, and I think I saw Ridio queue up a life potion there, so he's gonna go ahead and glitch that. And then Cecil's just gonna beat on the other one with his Excalibur.
On Captain's side, could have gotten away with zerking up, I believe, two of his characters, and the count would have never run down on them. Another fun Plague strat is to try to get a Star Veil off real quick before the initial count. That also makes it a very quick fight to get through.
If I remember correctly, the glitch there is if all your characters don't have count on them, all he does is keep casting it and resetting it.
Correct. It just keeps reflecting the count. This is giving him the opportunity to punch Eddie in the face a few more times just for good measure, which I think we all don't mind seeing here.
Poor guy. And his reward for beating Plague at that spot was the life staff, which we were just talking. We were just talking about him possibly equipping that on set.
Well, I believe from Captain's from what we know from what Captain's done, the moon is pretty much all that's left, I believe.
Yep, either the moon or the giant. I see him going to the moon before going to the giant, since it's more of a key item hunt than a boss hunt.
Well, we never found Derek Mist, but you probably don't want to try to go fight him at the element spot or CPU unless you're at the very end of your rope.
Right, and you haven't found the Twin Harp, which we know where the Twin Harp is.
To put the white robe on Cecil, maybe aiming for the White Mage Cecil. I think it was just probably the best piece of equipment he had.
More than likely it was. Because I haven't seen any either crystal armor or even any samurai armor this entire seed so far.
Oh, and this, I mean, that Kakul shop was actually kind of a hilarious troll looking back on it, considering it had the Stardust Rods, the Life Staff, and all you're going to end up with is Ridio with the Stardust Rod and the not even nuke, I believe.
Yeah, because he's running right downstairs to fight a boss. Which begs the question, whose butt are we going to be kicking tonight?
Yes, it is butt time. Get your Z flags out, and let's see who nightdew will be at least try Zerkering against. This was me. I would take at least one turn just to have somebody on my team punch Eddie just one more time, but
just one more for good measure.
One for good measure.
At least let Eddie use the crystal. Then punch him.
For anyone unfamiliar, I believe I saw a Scala Kitty in the chat. She's the primary contributor to the absolute wealth of sprites that are randomized for this final boss. He's too much of a jerk to put in the regular boss pool, but he still gets his own randomization here.
Yeah, I just also want to thank Scala Kitty for creating some Armosmas for us, and all the sprites. Wow. The vast majority of the sprites you see in free enterprise. I believe there's over 400 at this point.
We have a few hundred in there, and this is an entertaining one.
Also, I point out Edward is still alive. Maybe Edward will survive this fight.
Maybe just giving Zeromus the chance to. Oh, I was really hoping Zeromus would nuke the Edward.
Just let actually Edward do it as opposed to another member of the party.
Yeah, maybe Edward can Dancing Dagger. Just granted, this floor is maybe not the one you want to be staring at for an extended period of time.
Yeah, I think if you look at this one for too long, it'll just cause motion sickness and maybe he is actually keeping Edward alive because he has him hiding right now.
I like this strategy. There are some very, very advanced strats that I've had no interest in attempting. Hiding Edward solo is a Zeromus fight, but he can ignore all of this damage. And if worse comes to absolute worst, pop out, save somebody, and then go back to hiding.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking he has the Edward hiding right now, is just in case he does need to use a life potion on one of the three Zerg. Oh wow! Just noticed CapnBWhite just now getting his lunar whale.
Launching the lunar whale. We had made the pan check before, but I guess just wanted to clear out everything else that was out there before heading up to the moon.
Yeah, I want to see Edward throw a Dancing Dagger for the final shot. As Dunshall points out in chat, that would be just the icing on the cake for this entire seed. He's been dead for most of it, but he's going to get the final blow.
Eddie is your sleeper cell. He's your ace in the hole. Although he better go back into hiding relatively soon.
Yeah, it looks like he's healing up the group right now, actually. Make sure they can all survive what may be a second Big Bang. Although I don't know if we're going to see it because the way everybody's just hitting right now, they're just whacking away at the bot.
But I think that was the shake that comes from the phase change. So the only potential threat, as I see it, would be taking this Big Bang
right
directly into the Meteo phase.
Oof, this is going to be a race here. Yang took it pretty well, but Rydia and Edward are both napping right now, and Edge has low HP.
Oh, this looks like, yep, rocks are falling.
Yep, we got rocks. So let's see who can dodge it.
Oh, it's going to be Thunderclaw. It's going to be Thunderclaw. Thunderclaw for the win.
And there we go. And Armos wins with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 26 seconds.
GG. Well done, nightdew.
GG's, nightdew.
Missed a little bit of the run, but considering it appeared to have just been the Baron Castle, I think most of the time he was gone was spent walking down to the garbage can. So not the worst time to have to step out. And I believe we are joined by nightdew. nightdew, GG.
GG, thank you very much.
Yes, GG, nightdew.
I have one quick question for you that everyone's been begging me to ask, and that is, what is the best weapon in the game, and why is it the Thunderclaw?
It did some work. I may prefer some cat claws. Shout out to Penguinator. Newt, right? Getting it young here.
Yeah, I've ended a lot of Z fights in a very similar fashion. I mean, and talk us through your mindset with that really early everything except for that harp.
So I'm thinking, okay, we're starting out. We have a lot of easily accessible things and the boss hunt, and of course the first boss we see, or the first boss I see at least, is Odin. So I'm like, okay, well, no boss fight here. We're 3 key items away from go mode, and then darkness and the hook follow almost immediately, and it's just like, well, okay, we're probably going jet here, And you got me right as my technical issues hit, and I'll kind of explain that as well here. At the point where you saw me fade out, that was DS4 Windows deciding that it didn't like my controller anymore. And no matter of unplugging, replugging, and trying to get that controller to work, would do so. So you actually saw me execute a complete reboot in the middle of a race.
Oh, yeah, we were wondering what happened there. Also on the stream though, it came out great comedic timing because it was right as you used the pan on Yang. So it looks like the pan just killed your stream at the same time.
Yeah, the good news at the very least is that at the point where I had taken it, I was just on a peninsula power, I had just saved, so I wasn't losing anything other than the time I lost to that, which was considerable, but I'm like, let's just get this done. We still get a shot. Let's go. And then it turned into... I am absolutely extremely fond of low resource lunar subterranean dives, and that was one of them.
Right.
So you pick up. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask, with the characters you were finding all over the place, the double Edward, at what point did you finally decide, you know what, I'm going to give up on either finding a Rosa, a Porum, or a Fu?
Giving up on finding them was probably at the point where probably Dwarf Castle. Dwarf Castle was probably the last throw at them. I knew I had Bacchus, I knew I had Silk Web, and at that point, when he gave me that Legend Sword, I had Excal Cecil, the long Ninja Sword Edge, and some Zeus Gauntlets that I did find in the Cave Evelyn. That was it. That's where I found those Zeus Gauntlets. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't need to heal too much. I just need enough power to just try Zerker him down without having to heal too much.
Yeah, we saw you when you headed to the Lunar Subterranean, stop by and buy several Bacchus wine and a lot of Cure 2s to the point where you could tell you're like, well, I guess Cure 2 is the best I'm going to be working with here.
Unfortunately, I believe I left Cure 3s in Cave Evelyn, I believe. I think it's the only place. I know I went back, like, right before I went up to the Zeromus run. I'm like, okay, I know it's not in Dwarf, because that's my Bacchus shop. I know it's not in Feymarch, because that's my Siren shop. Where are my Cure 3s?
We weren't sure what you were checking for when you went back to Tamra before you went up. We thought it might have been an extra Siren.
Yeah, at that point, I was weighing it just to get a couple, because I'm mid 40s, and if I had a white mage, yeah, I would have tried that. But no, I just need that little bit of extra hit points, and you're seeing Iridia and Edward furiously tossing Cure 2s as fast as they could, just to keep Cecil and Edge up long enough.
Your Edward took a nap. I mean, we saw in both streams, Edward got punched in the face a combination of probably a total of about 85 times between the two of you, but he did in the end, maybe have that little extra bit of healing that got you through that. So good job, Edward.
Oh yeah, I mean, at the very least, I knew he could get out before anything terrible happened. Toss a few Cure 2s. It wouldn't have been so bad had he got that opening nuke, because then Cecil would have had another 1,600 hit points. But you do what you are going to do there.
We were hoping Zeromus wanted to turn at hitting Edward, but
I mean, he did get it eventually with that second Big Bang. I had actually missed the shake, thinking I had a bit of time, right? No, I did not.
I was secretly hoping that would be the one fight Edward would survive.
I was totally hoping to get him hidden once more, if just for not to get the final shot, but to toss the life potion to my backup of backup plans, Edge, who still had that spoon sitting in his pocket.
It would have made for quite the ending as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you're up to 2-2. This was your effort to stay alive. We were discussing you pulled quite the comeback in the highway to the Zemus zone, so you're relatively familiar for this.
Apparently, I don't play well unless elimination's on the line.
Oh, you played very well here. Any thoughts moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, GG to CapnBWhite. I see where he's at on the stream now. Not sure what rabbit hole. See Dead Edward, so hey, that's nice. That's another Masamune. 2 Masamunes on the moon. You love to see it. But no, I mean, and you know, it's not a given. I mean, we're going into, you know, hey, we're in position to make the brackets or at least the play-ins here possibly. But that 2-2 is full of landmines already, and you know, good luck to me, good luck to my opponents, and stay tuned for week 5.
Yep, absolutely right.
Looks like that was Golbez. And the lunar subterrane. It looks like the Earth crystal was actually. I saw on your stream as it was flying on. The Earth crystal was behind wherever D-Mist was.
That's a good question. Nobody ever found D-Mist, huh?
Still hiding.
Huh.
Maybe the dragon just wanted a day off today.
Dragon and the white mages and any real form of healing. I'm pretty sure I never saw Lasura, Sylph. Yeah, Cure 2 is probably the best thing I could find there.
Some would say healing's overrated. I am definitely not one of them, however.
Well, this group believes it was. I mean, Yon carried everybody back to the whale, but he's used to that.
Well, I'm surprised the Thunderclaw didn't carry them.
Thunderclaw.
All right, well,
GG. Yeah, I'm at 2-2 as well, so I'm hoping not to see you in the next round. But like you said, we got a shot. GG, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your Thursday.
Absolutely. See you guys later.
Yes, thank you, and again, GG's nightdew, and good luck on your matchup next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, looks like CapnBWhite, he's checking out that Crystal Sword altar right now.
He decided it looked like top down was King and Queen Eblin. I don't recall. I didn't catch an eye on what actually came from that.
Oh, it was another Masamune.
Another. Oh, really?
Yep, there are 2 Masamunes on the moon.
Awesome moon.
Because if I remember correctly, the Crystal Sword altar has the other one.
Yeah. This is where the other edge sword was located. So I would assume he'll get to music. Levels are looking pretty strong here. Oh, King Queen Eblin was at Bahamut, and was the pink tail. Thank you, Maggie. I can't blame Captain for wanting to clear the whole underworld, knowing that this Crystal Sword altar is required. You kind of hope that you only have to make one trip to the moon. He's here.
Right, yes, and as we know, he will only have to make this one trip to the moon, as he'll find the twin harp downstairs in the D lunar spot.
So, yeah, nightdew moving up to 2-2. 140-26, including a hard system reset, which that's got to make your heart skip a beat when you know you really need this one to move on.
Yes, I use the same software, so hopefully that will never happen to me during a race.
Well, I use a keyboard when I play this game, so I'm hoping that never happens to me, but...
Yeah, it shouldn't happen to you. I use a DualShock 4 controller, so it's not... Sometimes it gets really weird and wonky.
Well, that's... whatever you use, the last thing you want is what happened right there. At least, fortunately, he said he had just taken a save, which is... You know, the ideal time, if there is an ideal time for that to happen. And in the interim as well, Blaze, Moonblaze Wolf, thank you for the raid. I hope your stream went well. Should be wrapping this up. Hopefully this Z fight goes well.
Yeah, he can get the harp, go grab check his music, and then just run right back up to the moon.
And using cabins, well, it is a full party heal. There's part of me that thinks maybe it's just you're just enjoying knocking Eddie out to start every one of your fights. Because if there's one thing we've seen this seed, it is Eddie getting punched in the face. It's like in America's Funniest Home Video.
It is, and also probably just a fast way to clear out all that poison from Dr. Lugay.
True.
All right, hopefully he checks the D lunar spot first so we can get that harp. Because I didn't look and pay attention at the end of nightdew stream to what the other spots held.
That is the only question. Yep. Okay, so he's going right into this fight. Maybe if there was the past, would be the only thing of value that wouldn't just be a rabbit hole at this point, because we know Earth Crystal behind D-Mist.
Right. Yep. And he's gonna take care of the Magus sisters here.
Cecil is looking very healthy.
Apparently, the Magus sisters don't like Edward either.
They're getting their turn. This is a highlight reel of Eddie just finding places to get knocked down. I'm wondering. I haven't seen, or have I not been paying close enough attention? Because I have not been seeing any use of wine here.
No, I haven't either. Especially, not in this fight. This would be a great place to use it. Especially because it looks like he's going to be going quad Zerkers on Z when he gets there.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have a lot of levels, but the amount of additional damage you can put out with that Zerk is going to be a huge difference going into the Z fight.
Right, yeah. Even like it would speed up even something like the Magus sisters where you're just going to be punching them the whole time. Also, doesn't being Berserk avoid getting charmed like?
Yes, Berserk does take priority over Charm.
And looks like Cecil's going to check out his party.
No weak points. He has only strong points.
Yeah, especially because he has a Thunderclaw equipped probably.
Yeah. if he didn't have Thunderclaw, it would have said lack of Thunderclaw.
Right, yes, but he is smacked Edge pretty tough, and then he just hit himself.
nightdew in chat, I almost brought that up. I was kind of hoping that you would throw Rydia into the Zerker mix. For the sake of it.
Alright, so he's past the Magic Sister, he's gonna check the package, and then he's gonna get the Twin Harp. And I'm thinking at this point he's also like, I'm not gonna need any healing either. I could just go pick up some Cure 2s or Cure 3s because his levels, that is a beefy Yang and a beefy Cecil to get through the Z fight.
There is that Avenger sword in his inventory. Hopefully he remembers that that's there and thinks to bust that out.
Also in the chat, the Twin Harp was at the D Lunar altar on the moon, so yeah, that spot had the package and the Twin Harp.
The conclusion of the seed was literally all 4 of 5 objectives. Either you knew you had access to them, or you got them done in the first 20 minutes, and then that Twin Harp was, the usual suspect in these seeds of that one thing that everybody's looking for. Right.
Yep. And looks like he's just gonna, why switch airships at this point? You got to take it right back up to the moon anyway.
It was one of my favorite. I don't think it was something he would have known only playing vanilla, but that I discovered at some point running this game is just swag landing the ship and just casting a shadow over Troya. Just the Black Chocobo quickly, one of my personal NPC bosses.
Oh, yes, nightdew. Sorry, you did not find that Avenger sword.
Ah. And nightdew, if you're interested, it was Plague was the sparkle in Feymarch as well. So as far as Feymarch goes, not by any means the meanest Feymarch I've seen in the last couple of seeds I've been watching.
All right, and, CapnBWhite, he's running down. He's gonna go ahead and check his music out, and we get to listen to that lovely music from Lufio 2 again.
Eddie's been. There have been 2 Eddies taking naps for our players this entire seed.
Yep, and he's gonna have to punch him again because he's gonna get the full heal here.
Oh, does have kamikaze? That's nice to see. But okay, I will be quiet here as we get one more play of the twin harp.
As will I.
So there is go mode for CapnBWhite.
All right, yep, he's gonna get his Luca key and head right on up to the moon, hopefully, and fight Zeromus right away.
Yep, and so while he has to make this long walk, it's a great time. Thank Poydrak, our restreamer, Maggie the Cat for tracking and participating in my Thunderclaw jokes. And anyone watching, if this is something that you're interested in getting started in, the Discord is full of great people willing to answer questions, help you out. Feel free to check us out there. And Fries, thanks for commentating with me.
Oh, absolutely, PK. It's been a blast. Again, yeah, if you're ever interested, the community is very welcoming. I mean, I'm still relatively new. I'm currently 0-4 in this tournament, and I'm still having a blast, and everyone's been really helpful. And feel free to check out the randomizer and join it. All right, and to get back to the action, is he checking that package?
Be a package check. Or was there
Unless there was something here that we didn't notice in the item shop.
be silk webs, or just
No.
maybe just wanting to make sure you're not leaving anything behind.
Yeah. Make sure you have enough healing items to actually get through the Zeromus fight. But like I said, his characters are pretty beefy. I don't see him needing too much help.
But this is one of those situations where, at least in my experience, once the person you're competing against is not done, you might as well make sure that you're prepped for the Z fight, because there's no need to sprint into it head first like Edward trying to get over to his harp.
Right, or just Edward trying to get up in general in this seed.
Yeah, Edward trying to remain standing for more than the first character's turn.
I mean, even if it's been his turn, he's been punching himself in the face.
Edward, the seed little brother. This is, I mean, there was a part of me that thought maybe, you keep the Sid and you put a curse string on the Sid, but not nearly as entertaining as having this Eddie. And, no white mage is anything that you end up swapping him out with. So Eddie's just kind of that guy that you're like, all right, well, I guess it's Eddie.
Yep, and he's continuing his dive down now. I doubt he's going to stop anywhere along the way. This just has to be a run straight for the Armos Knights.
He's cleared crystals. I mean, he went top down, so there's only the White Spear and the Masamune altar would, technically still be available.
Which you never know. It might have a third Masamune.
Yeah, something to throw.
Come to Zeromus's Lunar Subterrane Sword Emporium. We have the swords you want.
Masamune.
Unless you're looking for a Crystal Sword Excalibur or Murasame.
Edge will figure out a way to use that third sword.
Just tape them all together.
Yeah. All right, my only concern here is a lack of having seen the Berserk. But these levels are relatively good.
Yeah, his levels are good. It's the lack of any berserking items usage that I've seen that makes me wonder how this fight's going to go. But with those beefy levels, he should be.
Good anchor for even just a regular attacking team.
Yeah, what better anchor than an Edward lying on the floor?
Edward gets his day. Maybe we'll take a nuke, maybe take a big bang. Gonna go hide. Okay, lowering the battle speed, probably a good idea here. There is wine in the inventory.
Right, so it looks like he's gonna be getting ready to use that. He's got 6 Cure 3s, that should be enough. He's got 23 of something else, probably Cure 2.
Let's hope, if he does notice this Avenger sword, that he off correctly. It looks like maybe setting up this Avenger sword glitch. He did take the shield off of Cecil, and Avenger is a two-handed weapon. But there is a slight potential if you equip it before you actually activate Zeromus that it could glitch Cecil out, which would be a very, very unfortunate position. I've had it happen with Kane to me before.
Right. Also, I noticed he does not have any Thunder Claws equipped, so I don't know how it's going to go with the.
Well, this isn't validated at all, then.
Yeah, he is not using the
think-
ultimate weapon.
The primary destruction tool of the game. Okay. Now, this is Battle Speed 3. So, not taking any chances. There's the hide. Actually, this might work out if he does put the Avenger on, because it will prevent that potential glitch from going off. But you might get a big bang before you get a nerf off. Okay, using the Bacchus, so I'm feeling strong about this one now.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel better if he's using the Bacchus wines. He's probably been saving them, didn't buy too. I think because when he found them, he didn't have that much money, so he bought just enough for this.
Yes, and as Jeeves points out in the chat, I did notice he moved the kamikazes down, and if you do get a kill on Zeromus with the kamikaze, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it cancels out the crumble animation.
I know it does it for the crumble bosses throughout the rest of the game. I do not know if it does it for Z.
So here comes Power Overwhelming.
Yep, everybody's hitting. He put the Avenger sword on Cecil. And yep, he's hitting for 5.3k a hit. And yeah, this is not going to be a long fight. He is not long for this one.
No, not nerfing this first big bang, but the amount of just raw damage that's coming out here, I would be amazed if we see a second one.
The rate the damage is coming out, I'm going to be surprised if we see a first one. Okay, there's the first one. This probably hit for about 1600-ish on each. That's what I'm guessing. Or I could be just a little off.
It was a big bang.
Yeah, he's coming in and Edward's made his second appearance.
3 on Cecil, and I think this is probably pretty much good to be. That looked like that might have been a phase change.
Right, yep. I think he queued up a silk web with Edward. Yep,
Looks
that's a
like he
silk.
did.
All right. Yeah, I think he's going for the kamikaze. Ooh, a nuke on Kane. That's probably going to hit pretty hard, but I don't see... Yep, he's down. I don't see it being an issue, though, with the amount of damage everyone else...
He was dealing the least damage. Not the worst one to see here.
Yep, there's the second shake. Edward's going to go run and hide in the corner.
We'll see if this big bang actually gets off.
Nope, it does not.
There
it is.
Flash.
And that is CapnBWhite finished with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 41 seconds.
GG to CapnBWhite.
Yes, GG's in the chat for CapnBWhite.
And let's see if he wants to come give us his thoughts on the race. Well run. It was a crazy seed. That harp, the top down, a few choices that just didn't turn out to be that one key item that you were hunting for.
Also, Healer's Day Off.
Yeah.
And we're still checking to see if CapnBWhite will be joining us for an interview or not. And welcome, CapnBWhite. GG's on completing the seed, and what did you think?
Well, that was fun. Definitely could have made some better routing decisions early on, but once I was online, I was feeling really good. I kind of had it in my head that I was going to avoid Moon until I cleared everything, so I didn't want to fall into the trap of like full clearing Moon and then the Twin Heart being like at the Ashura spot or something. Obviously, that didn't work out.
Can't blame you that, I mean, the Plague down in the Fey March is not too tough of a fight, and I mean, when you know you could get the crystal right when you get to that the crystal sword altar, definitely a viable strategy. It was just it was a hunt for one key item, and you just got to choose where you want to go.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, early on, like when I saw the starting lineup, it was Edward at the start, and I was like, all right, well, this guy gets to be named 17 out of 17, and he's staying with me the entire time. And as I was going along, like I had like only a couple things like that I really thought that I was going to do. One was I was going to full clear Earth before going up just to be safe. Two, I was going to keep Edward, of course, and three, if I could do anything to redeem the bad run at the end, I was going to. But I messed up my Z fight, and I didn't keep Kane because he was in the back row and his damage was going to be bad. But I was planning to keep him not Zerked, and like I was going to try to go for like a swag kill. That didn't happen. There's the end. I pulled Edward out at the end and threw the silk web trying to get the nuke and slow him down. And it killed Kane, and I was like, all right, maybe I can get him back up for something. And like I ended up killing Z before I could. So I was like, all right, well, I beat Falling Rocks, so I was happy with that.
Right. Also, one question I also asked nightdew was, at what point did you give up on actually finding a healer in this seed?
Pretty much the point where I decided to just go ahead and do the egg grind with the all melee party. I wasn't seeing anything. The only healer I even run into during the run was the Fusoya that was in the bed in Kaipo. And by the time I was doing that grind, I was like, if I get the Sand Ruby conveniently, then it's fine. He's level 50. I can grab him. And if not, then I'm just not going to bother with the healer, and I'm going to muscle my way through the fight.
All right.
All in all, it was well run. It's I mean, it's tough with those seeds where you get early darkness and early magma, and every check is equally as valuable as just about anyone else.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You get one more match. You get a grudge match against one other runner. Any final thoughts on the tournament, or anything else you'd like to throw in?
Since my chances of getting in are obviously shot at this point, my final race is going to almost certainly be a 17 out of 17 with guaranteed music. Anything fun that I can make happen. A kamikaze kill on Z will hopefully happen. I'm gonna make it fun. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right.
I'm happy to hear that. I mean, yeah, this is it's all about just playing something that you enjoy doing. It's a a cake eating contest where the prize is more cake, as I said at the start of the stream. So you better enjoy cake.
Yeah, cake is great.
Thank you for letting us restream you and talk, and thanks for playing in the tournament.
Hey, thank you guys for putting this together. Always appreciate the restream team. Anybody who's not already following any of these people, go ahead, give them a follow, because the work they put in for the community is outstanding.
Well, thank you again. I think we're planning a raid here, so Poydrak's listening. I want to thank Poydrak, our restreamer, once again, Maggie, the cat on tracking, CapnBWhite, thank you, and nightdew for letting us watch you guys play this game. And once again, Fries, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. And again, I just want to take another moment to thank our two runners, both nightdew and CapnBWhite. as well as Poydrak, our restreamer, and Maggie the cat for tracking for us this afternoon for a good afternoon race. And I believe we're going to be rating somebody in just a few moments to get.
Yep.
And
We're-
I just want to sign off for myself and PK. Again, thank you for joining me this afternoon. It's been a real pleasure commentating.
Always happy to be here. We're headed on over to Couch 23, a good friend of the community. I'm not sure what he's specifically running right now, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, Final Fantasy VII. So thank you once again, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you shortly. We got plenty more matches coming up.